welcome back to Consultant's Corner. I'm Rebecca Brizi. This is my corner. I am a consultant, but a freelance consultant, and there is an additional layer of self-discipline that of course goes with working from home in general, but working for yourself in particular. We are talking about work-life balance. I want to focus on the balance part of that today. Well, the focus is always on the balance part of that. There's a lot to say on the subject, practical things to say on the subject. Today, we're focusing on understanding what needs to go into that balance. There is a core part to all of this, which is understanding that balance is about harmony. It's not about opposition. When we talk about work-life balance, when we talk about having balance in your life, it's about understanding that work and life go together. They're not adversaries and they're not working against each other. So that's the first rule, really, is to understand that you don't want to be creating conflict between what you consider work and what you consider life. Let's go ahead and get rid of work/life. Those two are the same thing. Life is the all-encompassing category. Work is one of the files that lives under the category of life. So it's not about work-life balance. It's about life balance. As freelancers, our time is our own, and what that usually means is that we spend more of it working. There might be layers of, if I'm not working, I feel a little bit guilty. I could be working, so I should be working. Knocking out projects and meeting deadlines early is a good thing. Working constantly is not a good thing. Not only is it not good for your physical and mental health, but it's not good for your work either. If you're not giving your brain breaks, and if you're not giving your brain new things to focus on and think about, then you're not refreshing your ideas. There is something about making you better at your job by not dedicating your entire life to only your job. To what are you dedicating your entire life? Well, that's really the point of this video. Understand the things that matter. As always, I don't accept one-word definitions. You have to actually describe everything you're bringing into this life balance. Work is one of those things. Understand everything that encompasses the work part of your life balance. But really, work is the easy one. Let's move on to the other things you want to consider in life balance that do require a bit more explanation. A common one is health. I have to balance out my health. Well, let's start with your physical health. What does it mean to include health in your life balance? Your diet, for one thing. What does that mean for what you eat and how you eat? Do you want to dedicate more time to cooking your own food? Do you want to be able to eat from particular restaurants more often? Do you want to learn a new cuisine so that you can incorporate that into a wider variety of food that you're eating? Maybe you're not eating enough vegetables, so you want to learn a bunch of new recipes to use vegetables. There's no right or wrong answer. You have to define what health means for you. Is there a food element to health? And is that something that I have to work into my life balance? Again, I can only give examples from my own experience. My experience with the food side of things is I do want to cook my own food. I feel that I can eat a broader diet if I'm cooking it myself, and I know that goes into it. That does mean making time for cooking my food, understanding when that has to happen in the course of a day and a week. These are all factors that go into my life balance and that I have to balance with the time that I'm spending at work. Physical health is also, of course, exercise or sport or movement. So what does that mean for you? Do you like to go to the gym? Do you like to train at home? Do you play sports? What is the time requirement for all of this? What's the ideal commitment that you can make to all of this? When does it fit into your day? Again, you're a freelancer. You're in control of your time. Do you do it in the morning? Do you do it in the evening? Do you do it a little bit every day or intensely 3 days a week? Describe what physical health means to you. Describe what fitness means to you. Look at the resources required and the time commitment required. Where does it make sense to fit that in? Be specific. If it's just working out, period, end of sentence, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. There's no way for you to fit that into a bigger schedule or plan because it's just too vague. And of course, mental health, whatever it is that you do to give yourself relief, mental peace, self-control, confidence, all of these things are part of mental health. Do you make time for meditation? Do you have daily mantras that you recite to yourself? This might tie in with the physical health side. I know it does for me. One of the things I love to do is to walk and to hike, and that feeds into my mental health as well. Those are the times when my mind can go anywhere. Understand what the mental health aspect means for you in your life balance. What do you do so that you can maintain control over your emotions, so that you can maintain calmness, and so that you can maintain confidence? Another popular one that comes up here is family. There's no one definition of family. Family is your nuclear family. Family is you and your spouse. Family is children. Friends can be family too. What is your family unit? Family is on that list of life balance What does that mean? Quality time with a spouse and or children? Well, then define what quality time is. How does this tie into some of the things we've already said? If you want to be cooking more, maybe cooking together is part of that quality time. If you want to be playing sports, are you playing sports with your children, for example, or your spouse? Are you teaching your children how to play your favorite sport? That could also be both your mental and physical exercise for the week. All these things tie in together. What does it mean to spend time with your family? Board games count. Teaching children something new counts. Checking in with parents and siblings once a day counts. FaceTiming nephews or nieces or cousins counts. Family tends to be high up on the list of the life balance variables, but do define what that means. It's not enough to say, family is important to me. That sentence in of itself does not describe how you act on that, how you make that an important part of your life for your well-being and for your life balance. Your hobbies, how you want to spend your own time, how you want to spend your me time. And again, you can see how all the different variables really reconnect to one another. What do you do for your own release? What are the hobbies that you pursue and why? What do you do for personal development? What do you like to learn? Do you make time for reading? Do you make time for learning, whether it's podcasts or courses or enrolling in your local college for a new language course? Do you make time for your hobby? Is your hobby a sport? Does that connect into the time you're giving to physical health or family time? Is your hobby knitting? And if so, are you part of a knitting group perhaps, so that you're held accountable to always be progressing? Social life comes into the personal as well. So making time for friends. Yes, even there, define what that means. What does it mean to make time for friends? What makes you happy when you're spending time with friends? What makes your life better? Are there things that you enjoy doing with friends? Are there certain friends that really make you feel great about your life and life in general? Those are the friends you want to focus on. What does it mean to commit time to your social life? Does that rotate around maybe some of the sports or other hobbies or other things we've already mentioned? There's also the fact of sometimes I just want to go grab a Campari with a friend at a bar. That counts. It's valid. Know what you need in terms of that to sustain your well-being, to sustain your happiness. As I film this, we're still in self-isolation. Social connections matter now more than ever. So perhaps you can't go to the bar at the moment, or you don't want to go to the bar at the moment, but get on a FaceTime call with your friends. And really that's true for all of these elements. If you're still in an isolation pattern, look at what translating all of these into that isolation means. Maybe you can't go out and play soccer with a bunch of friends right now. Can you find a space in the park where you can kick the ball for yourself a little bit? Can you maybe set up some challenges with your teammates about what you're going to accomplish every day in terms of soccer improvement or personal training? Use the resources you have available and adapt to the current circumstances. All these things that go into life balance matter. You might have to adapt how you do them, but they don't stop mattering just because our life patterns, our day-to-day patterns have changed. Life balance is what it's about, and then you fit all the files into the category of life balance: your work file, your health file, your family file, your social file, your personal well-being file, and anything else that really matters for your life to have balance and for you to be happy in the day-to-day. Obviously, that is your homework. Make a list of what matters to you, of what gives you good energy, of what makes you want to wake up in the morning. That's really all that it comes down to. You don't have to get into any deeper explanation of what works for you other than thinking about doing this makes me get up from bed happy every day. Make that list of all of these areas, what matters to you, what you need to keep in balance. We'll talk about this some more in the near future, how you can analyze all these things that you have in balance and make sure that you are keeping them in harmony instead of in opposition. But for your homework for now, start making the list and thinking about what all those things mean and where they overlap, how you can actually have a list of 20 things that matter and make it manageable, because you can create interdependencies amongst them in a positive way. Create stability with all of this. And of course, I will see you at the next video. Bye now.